It started on a damp October evening, the kind where fog clings to the ground and every distant sound feels like a whisper in the dark. Sam Harper flipped the dial of his weathered shortwave radio, a relic inherited from his grandfather. He wasn't sure why he kept it. Half of it barely worked anymore, but on nights like this, when insomnia pressed against his temples, the hum of static was strangely comforting. The radio crackled to life, punctuated by faint beeps and garbled signals. Sam leaned back in his chair, closing his eyes and letting the disjointed sounds wash over him. He hadn't expected much, just another night of atmospheric noise, until it happened. Sam's eyes snapped open. It had been faint, almost drowned by the static, but there was no mistaking it. A voice. His name. He leaned closer to the radio, heart pounding, and adjusted the dial ever so slightly. The static swirled, fading in and out until there it was again. Sam froze. The voice was distorted, genderless, as though it came from somewhere impossibly far away. He swallowed hard and fumbled with the radio, trying to improve the signal. No response, just the crackle of static. For a moment, Sam thought he'd imagined it, the mind playing tricks on a sleep-deprived man. But then the voice returned. A chill ran down Sam's spine. He instinctively glanced around his room as if expecting to see someone there. The fog outside his window was thicker now, the world beyond it muted and gray. "Who's there?" he asked again, his voice firmer this time. "What do you mean? Who's trying to find you?" The radio hissed, and for several long moments there was nothing but soundless static. Just as Sam was about to give up, the voice returned. Desperate now. "It's in the static. It's watching, listening. Please don't let it take me." Before Sam could respond, the static roared to life, so loud it made him cover his ears. His fingers twisted the dial in a panic, trying to mute whatever had taken over the signal. When the noise finally subsided, the voice was gone. Only emptiness remained. Sam sat in stunned silence, the hairs on his arms standing on end. His room suddenly felt colder. He reached out to turn off the radio, but his hand froze as a new sound emerged, a faint whisper, barely audible. "Now I've found you." The words echoed in the quiet of the room, sending a wave of terror through Sam. He tore the plug from the wall, silencing the radio in an instant. But the whisper lingered, no longer in the static, but in the depths of his mind. And for the first time in his life, Sam realized the voices were never in the radio. They were always waiting, in the silence, in the dark, in him.